Welcome to the Retrospect podcast, a show where three guys come from different walks of life and discuss a topic from their generation's perspective. My name is Ian, and as always, I am joined by Stoney.
Hello.
And X-Man.
Hey, everybody.
How's everyone doing this week?
Good.
Oh, having fun.
Everyone getting back in the rhythm of like the new year?
Yeah, I quit writing 21 down.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Finally
nice.
quit writing 2021.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, it's been cold, though.
It is
Really
very
cold.
cold
I like
around
the
here.
cold. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Well, I
Same.
don't know. Here's the deal. I do not like the chilly cold where your feet get cold and you can't get them warm again.
I get that.
I
I honestly thought about, I didn't actually say this yet, or I didn't actually have it written down on our whiteboard we have, but I thought about having a podcast topic about like ideal weather conditions, because I could talk probably for too long about that.
We both probably all could.
yeah, right. Like, I have to be in the mood for the cold. Like, it's got to be a planned thing, you know?
Right.
But yeah.
Fire going.
See, I'd rather be cold than
Same.
hot.
Yeah.
The mountains, nice
Yes.
cabin.
I don't mind that.
yes.
I mean,
3 or 4
like I
feet of
said,
snow, a nice wood burning fireplace.
I just got to get in the
nice
place
adult
for it.
beverage, a nice smoky,
Those help.
earthy.
We live in the South, so I understand where he's coming from. It'll be 70, 80 degrees one day, and then it'll be like 32 the next.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't.
A variety.
Yeah.
I wake all 4 seasons in one day. Yeah,
Pretty much.
Right. I wake up every morning going, do I need a jacket or not? But anyway, so what's the question for this week?
Well, this one has been an inspired thing because I think we all have them.
Right.
But the question this week is, what are your pet peeves?
Oh, wow. Good question.
Pet peeves. Let's see.
Do millennials have pet peeves, or are they just one big pet peeve balled up in one big ball?
They're too busy in paradise.
Right,
They,
right.
working on their laptops from, an Airbnb.
So man buns can't be one of their pet peeves because that's
I
all they
mean,
wear,
I
right?
don't know. There's a handful of them that I think for me, like I always like clean counter spaces, and for some reason, and you're gonna say this is OCD about me, but I always like to just have like nothing on a counter.
Actually,
just, like,
I'll be
having-
honest with you, I don't really consider you OCD.
Okay, I appreciate.
I
it.
really don't. I consider you more CDO.
Oh no, Jesus, because that's OCD.
You know that's going to bother him.
You know what CDO is, right?
Yeah, I think you told me last week.
CDO in alphabetical order.
Right, it's OCD in alphabetical order. But I just like, for some reason, if there's just like excess stuff on counters or whatever, I'm just like, I just want to like just clean it all off.
I'm going to own this with you because his whole CDO comment is still bothering me. So
Oh, really? Okay.
Really? Wow.
I'm definitely obsessive compulsive, and so
I see.
I can't do that out of order thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I like even work in stacks, so I don't have to have it completely clear, but I don't want it cluttered.
Yeah,
Right.
but you
For
guys
sure.
are
Right.
musicians, so y'all see things in a certain way that really can't be cluttered.
Yeah,
see,
I
I'm
see.
not a musician. I don't see it that way. When you're reading music, everything is in a very specific order. It doesn't sound good.
True.
So y'all are musicians. Y'all have to act that way.
All right.
You have to be that way, I would think.
I see.
Well,
Am
I tell
wrong?
my wife.
Tell me if I'm wrong. If
No,
I'm
the
wrong.
conversations I have with my wife, though, a lot of times are at our house, is like, get these knick-knack things out of here. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to see them.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I like that. I don't like knickknacks. I don't like collections. I don't
Right,
like,
right.
Really?
yeah, I'm just not that person. So I get it with you.
But you seem like, to me, somebody that would have a lot of books.
At my office, yes, but
Not
not,
at
at
Not
my
personal
home.
space.
Wow.
No,
I see.
all of that goes into my tablet, and so I'm not a.
Interesting.
Okay.
I had a
Learn
lot of
something
books
new,
until some
'cause I'm
jackass burnt my
That
office
surprised
down.
me. That surprised me. I'm learning something new today. About
Yeah,
you.
no,
Okay.
I'm definitely more of an electronic filer. Again, I like to be neat and
Oh,
clean with
yeah.
it. And I, at home, oftentimes my spaces are probably the more organized of them because
Yes.
I don't like to be
Right. But
junky.
for me, everything has a place, and a lot of times that people like move it around, I usually will just go behind them and put it back where it goes, just because
Yeah.
it's like my tendencies.
Yeah, but Albert Einstein said that a messy desk is a sign of intelligence. So
Yeah.
what does an empty
I
desk
mean, I
say
don't know.
about you?
A clear
No
mind.
idea. Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I'll take that.
All right, I don't know. Maybe.
What are yours, Stoney? Like, what's a pet peeve that you have?
One of my pet peeves is lying.
Ooh, I share this
I
one with
don't
you
like
too.
a lie.
Ugh.
Tell me the truth. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Right.
It's going to sting a little bit, but I'm going to respect you more for it. Look
Yeah.
me in the eye and just tell me the truth.
Right.
Right.
Because we can fix whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, we can fix it.
It's going to go a lot better.
It's going to go a lot
Just tell me
better.
the truth. Yeah.
Magnus, if you're listening,
Ooh,
tell
Son.
the truth.
Getting
Son,
called
I
out.
also want you to listen.
Yeah, please.
It's just better, and it's a sign of respect. When you lie to me, you just show me you have zero respect for me.
Yeah.
None.
I see.
I always try to give somebody a way out of it too. If I know they're lying, I'll just say,
well-
so what you're saying is, let me
Yeah.
just be clear about this because I don't want to misunderstand. So if they're going to tell a lie, I'm going to make them commit to it all the way.
You give them a
But
chance to
you're
double
also-
down.
Then
What
I'm
you're
gonna bust
also
the
doing
chops.
is you're giving them the opportunity to get past that first self-preservation
Yeah,
lie.
right.
Human nature, you're
Yeah.
going to tell that first statement is going to be a self-preservation lie.
Or fear. Yeah.
Right.
Get past it. Okay, you did it. We're going to let that one go.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the truth.
Right. Oh, now that's out the way. Let's go ahead and get down to the meat of it.
Because we know you're going to do it. It's human nature.
Right,
You're going to
right.
do it. You know, and let's just get past it.
On
Let's-
the this works against me too on the whole lying thing because I'm a terrible liar. If I lie, I feel like I can't look you in the eye, or I feel like oh god. So I never like those situations where I'm keeping a secret. Maybe it's somebody's
Right,
surprise
right.
party or something.
Yes.
I hate those things because I'm never good at them, and so I But I'm with you, Stoney. The lion
it's
thing.
just it's icky. It's just gross to me.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't have that kind, I love respect. I love people that respect each other and treat each other appropriately. And when you lie, you just break that trust.
Yep.
You can spend 20 or 30 years building that trust and knock it all down with one lie.
Yeah.
Yep. You're
Yeah.
right.
You know. All right.
You are so right.
Ian, millennial.
Yeah.
What's one of your pet peeves?
Another one for me would be if we're on like a 4-lane highway, and like there's two cars that are just blocking. Even if I'm like not really going anywhere in a rush, if I'm just going like at the speed limit or a little bit above, if there's two cars that are just blocking the road, I'm like, come on, guys, like. You know what I mean? Like we're like there's a 2-lane.
So the
2-lane
millennial
road.
is saying his life is more important than everybody else on the
No,
road. and
I
we should
never
just let
said
him
that.
right through
I
it,
never
right?
said
Is that
that.
what he's saying?
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, if the speed limit is 55 and they're
I got you
traveling
choked
and there's two and there's
That's me choked up on
Uh-oh.
that. That was awesome. He wanted to say something.
well, no, maybe not. Is that like I said, if
That was
the
awesome.
speed limit is 55 and we have two cars that are going 45, I'm like, it's not the end of the world, but like, come on, like you're causing a traffic jam just because you guys aren't wanting to like,
Yeah.
share the same lane or whatever. So that's kind of the.
I can't stand when they get side by side.
That's what-
and
that's
you
what
That's what
can't
he's
get-
talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
That's what I mean.
Exactly
That's
he's
what I
talking
was.
about.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So I was gonna say,
ugh.
let's say there's a 4-lane highway and there's
Yes.
like there's two lanes you can drive on, and there's two cars side by side that are driving the same
Yeah.
speed limit, same speed, but it's like less than the speed limit. So like I'm driving the speed limit,
Yeah.
but I can't now go around anybody because there's two cars that are blocking the road,
Uh-huh.
and now they're causing like a huge pileup of cars behind us that are just. For
I don't know.
no,
It's
for no
back in the
reason.
80s in the state that we live, one of the cities, the larger cities,
Right.
the two state troopers would go down the interstate side by side exactly at the speed limit.
Really.
And there would be a line 2 miles behind them.
Yeah.
Just in a simple 5 or 6 mile area, they would do side by side the speed limit.
Wow.
And there were these huge line behind. They had to stop doing it because it got dangerous.
Really.
Yeah, because people kept, getting in wrecks and trying
Wow.
to pass each other and push people out the way. But yeah, they did that for a couple weeks. It was an interesting
Interesting.
study.
Wow.
Looks like
Yeah.
a funeral procession.
Psychology. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
I've got a weird one. It's a very specific one.
What's that?
But it's this. Like, I cannot stand to be sleeping and then wake up to someone laughing. Like
what?
I don't like it. There's something that unnerves me about it. Like, and it's funny because a lot of times my wife would do that. Like, she'll be putzing around the house and doing
Right,
stuff,
right.
I'm busy and I'm out taking a nap or whatever, hanging out or whatever. And if I wake up and she's laughing about something, I immediately think, you're laughing about me. You did something to me or something. So I have some kind of like weird trust issues or something. Like I got to think like
who
somebody
hurt you?
I don't know. Somebody traumatized me in my
right.
childhood, but I cannot stand it. And almost to the point where it feels like I would almost rather you like cut my finger off or something.
Right. Or
because
it
it makes me angry from like instantly. And then she gets tickled by that even more. So she laughs harder. And that makes me madder. And so I'm kind of like, that's I don't know why I'm like that, but I think it's my sisters probably did this. I'm just going to say they probably did this to me.
Something to you.
Called out.
Yeah.
I have one kind of in that vein. One of my pet peeves.
It's oddly specific, but it's really interesting.
Well, mine's close to that. I don't like people that wake up in a bad mood. I'm not saying that I'm chipper and jumping and ta-da, the fields are alive every time I wake up. But it's like, it's a new day. Why you got to be grumpy?
Boy, you do not want to be in my house with my daughter, man. Jeez.
Well, Magnus is
that
a
girl.
grump. When he wakes up, it's like rattlesnake.
Oh, wow.
Now, my daughter is like, she is an angel.
Yeah.
And she is amazing at school.
Right.
And she gets great conduct and makes straight A's and all the stuff, all the things a parent would want.
Right.
But let me tell you what, every morning before she walks out the door, I am ready to disown her.
Really?
Oh my God. I'm serious. I'm like, get your ass on the bus
please.
and do not come back.
Please.
Wow. It's a new day.
Right.
Start your day off.
Right.
When you wake up in a bad mood, you're setting the precedent for your whole day. It's like another pet peeve of mine, people that roll in 1 minute before you're supposed to be in the office.
Yeah.
I get there 15, 20, 30 minutes early so that I can sit down.
Like you did today.
Have a break.
Yeah, right.
And, but you get in there, now your whole day is like that.
Right.
You feel like you're always behind just because, you're running in late.
Yeah.
If you're not there 15 minutes early, you're late.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you another one. It's also very specific. Nose hair. Like I can't talk to you if you've got like lots of nose hair.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I need you to trim up on that.
Yeah, but
like
see,
I need
I'm going to be honest with you. It's you're in the X generation. You're not old enough. Technically, men don't lose hair.
It just
okay. You see a man going bald at the top, he's not going bald. It gets sucked in from the head and gets poked out somewhere else. The eyebrows, the nose.
So ridiculous and wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm being serious.
I don't think. It
just comes out somewhere else.
Is he 100% right? Probably not. But is he wrong though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd never want to be the caretaker to wipe his butt later in life. I'll tell you that much.
Oops.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like I have a hard time. I get distracted. All I want to do is like look at your nostril, and so I can't. I lose focus, and I get so like zoned in on nose hair that I'm kind of like.
Oh look, I had an eyebrow hair, I guess, that got blown or flipped or something. And I'm going 75 miles an hour.
Did you look
down
angry?
The interstate. I don't know what. It's just one hair.
That happens.
Going 75 miles down the interstate, and Hottie Doctor, while I'm looking the other way, reaches up.
Oh God! You just made my eyes water.
Oh my God! I had to heart fight to stay on the road.
Oh, dude!
My eyes started watering. I'm like,
yes, I'd be bawling. I'm like,
and she's sitting over there laughing her ass off.
She tried to sabotage
that
you.
Is wrong. You could have killed. You could have had a rack.
Yes.
Oh
over one stray hair, she could have said
man.
something about when we got home.
Right.
But no, she had to have that some bitch
she
right
had to get
in there. Blink.
She had that guy locked on in her
man.
crosshairs, ready
That's
to
one
go.
of her pet peeves, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. All right. I feel like I have a million of pet peeves or something, but don't drink out of my drink. That's my drink.
I see.
I don't want to share my drink.
Now,
and
will you share food? If you go eat
if
sushi,
it's my
will you
idea
share
and
food?
I want to offer you some of my food, yes. But if you just reach over and take stuff on my plate, I'm not going to be happy with you. Like I said, I am probably not like a good sharer, I guess.
Probably so.
So I'm not,
I had a friend that was like that with French fries.
Yeah.
He was like, so help me God, you take my French fries without asking. I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously like hitting you like a nice solid slap on the back of the hand, but like he was definitely like that. He was like, if you ask me, I will gladly give you some.
Right.
But if I'm eating
Yeah.
and you come and reach over my food, he's like, it was a big pet peeve for me. He's like, I don't want you touching my food.
I had that very problem. I went on a trip I was advancing a tour company's trip to China to make sure that people would enjoy it.
Nice.
And it was like a culinary tour and everything. And so, man, I was having a hard time though, bro. Like I lost 14 pounds while I was there because I could not stand the food. So they take me one night and they're like, no, we're going to take you. You're not going to, don't worry. We're going to fix you up tonight. We're taking you out. We're going to go to a seafood place. You're going to love it.
Right.
We walk in and the lobby is 80 aquariums. It smells like PetSmart in there. And I'm like, oh my God, that was the menu. So you pick the aquarium that you want to eat.
What?
Yes, I'm not kidding. So first of all,
Sounds fun.
No, I am freaked out.
Sounds fun.
No, I'm
Yes,
not. I'm not happy.
Right.
Because it smells like PetSmart, number one. Number two is I do not want to see this stuff I'm about to eat alive.
Yeah.
And so anyway, they bring out this spiny fish. I mean, it has spines, like 100 spines on it.
Right.
It looks like a puffer fish. You ever seen one of those?
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like that, but it's not like a blowfish. It's like stays that way.
All right.
And so anyway, they steam this bad boy. Well, in China, they just put all this crap out in the center of the table and you spin it around and everybody just kind of takes.
Really?
Now, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to touch my food.
Right.
I don't want you to, like, I don't know if you wash your, like, I don't even know if you wash your hands before you touch my food.
Right.
So this is my nightmare. So every single meal in China, I found myself saying, I'll have a bowl of rice. Just bring me a bowl. I had so much white rice. I'm serious. I felt like a peasant. I had eaten 14 days of white rice because I could not share food.
Wow.
I'm not a good sharer.
And see, I love sharing food. Even just
I don't mind if it's my idea.
Right.
I just don't want you to take my food.
Yeah. Or if it's on a community lazy Susan.
Do not spin my food around and do not pull up. And then the worst thing is, the lady was like, oh no, you have a side of bok choy. Okay, so I reach in my bowl of bok choy and I pick this thing up and it looks like one of your girlfriends, and it was slimy.
What are you talking about?
Was slimy and gooey.
Oh,
and like,
what is that supposed to mean?
Like an alien. Like it was. It was.
You had to go there.
It looked like they were pulling a ball of socks out of a bowl of snot.
Oh.
It was so disgusting.
Oh man.
But yeah, I couldn't do that. So I'm not a good sharer. That's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah.
My bad.
See, I thought the opposite of you.
No,
Interesting.
No, I'm not.
He's a good sharer on his terms, is what it is.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
His
I'll
terms.
share with you.
Right.
But I need to offer that to you.
Right. Yeah. Don't get me all comfortable promising me a meal and then take it from me.
They'll be acting like we're best friends. Don't
Right.
Well, when we go on this cruise, I'll keep that in mind.
Right.
Yeah. Well, thank God there'll be a buffet. You can eat all you want of your own stuff.
There you go. I like wearing boots, and I usually will wear them out because I wear them for a long time. There's been a couple of occasions where I've busted the sole out of them, or like I've just worn it down so much that I just sometimes my toe can sneak out if I'm not careful, and sometimes, and it's happened at least a couple of times, and I say it's a pet peeve because I think it's anybody's pet peeve really, is if you get like a wet sock. Especially if it's cold or whatever, but like a lot of times, like I've done a handful of times where like I didn't know how broken my shoes were until like I just go walking around in some water, and then all of a sudden I'm just like squishing around these like wet socks. I'm like, I just feel gross.
Yeah,
yeah. Especially if it's cold. If it's cold and wet, then I'm like, now my feet are hurting and they're wet, and I just feel gross. And I'm like,
I never thought of that as a pet peeve, but
and then I guess I say it's a pet peeve, but I'm hoping it's just like a normal human response to something. But like for me, a lot of times it would happen and I'd be at work, and then the one time I'm talking about specifically, it was cold outside. I had stepped in a puddle after it rained, and I had like just started. I was like 30 minutes into like an 8-hour shift at work, and I had like a soaking wet foot. It was cold, and it was just my right foot, and I was like, oh man, I just felt gross and icky the whole day.
Right.
It was so weird.
Well, that's not fun to walk around with a soggy foot.
Right, exactly. Especially when it squishes all, and it's like I just
I have a footwear pet peeve too.
What's that?
Brokeback Mountains. I mean, Birkenstocks or
Birkenstocks.
Real men do not wear those shoes.
Come on.
They do not wear flip-flops.
Jesus wore those, didn't he?
Jesus wore
It
sandals.
was all he had.
Those were Jerusalem cruisers.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the Birkenstocks or the flip-flops, no, that is not real footwear. That is nasty.
My friend feels the same way about Crocs.
Yeah, Crocs are actually worse. Harvard Medical did a study on Crocs and showed how much worse they are for the human back than flip-flops.
Okay, why do you know stuff like this? Why do you know facts and studies about?
Because it's
this
a pet peeve. You know,
because it's a pet peeve.
So he
I
does
have to be
research
able
on
to
it.
back up and say why
Right.
Crocs, flip-flops, and Birkenstocks are bad for you.
Right, of course.
You can't walk right in them. The way you hold your toes to keep those on your feet hurt your back.
Interesting.
You know, and
He
they're
doesn't just-
stupid. If you have to run, I remember one time, I don't wear short pants and I don't
He is
wear
fired up.
slippers.
Of course.
Okay? So one day, Magnus did something dumb, and I had to
No
chase
way.
down the hall. I had to chase him down the hall. Okay, so I run after him. The flip flops go flying. The short pants fall down. I come sliding out, and it was the funniest damn thing ever.
Oh, man.
But damn, you can't chase nobody. You can't do
No.
what you're supposed to in flip flops, and it's
Of
just
course not,
ridiculous.
no.
My mom would just convert that flip flop into a paddle.
Dude, I saw this guy. It was like a TikTok or whatever, and he's like holding a flip flop, and then he's like, "I never miss," and then throws the flip flop as his kid's running down the hallway and whacks him in the back of the head, and knocks
I
him
had a
down. And I was
friend-
like,
It's so
"Whoa!"
I had a friend. We go to his grandma's house.
Yeah.
She's one of those Italian women.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and they have those little 1-inch heels that they wear with a little 1-inch band across the top.
Yep.
And a 1-inch heel, but it's
Yep.
maybe like 3/16 or a quarter thick.
Right.
There's nothing in the back. She could take that off
Uh-oh.
and zing it and do a 90-degree curve
Like a
into his
boomerang.
room
Stop
and
it.
hit him in the back of the head.
No.
Yes.
Oh
swear to
my God.
That's
Pop!
insane.
She knew where
She
he was in the
practiced that.
room.
She-
It's no wherever he stood in the room,
Right.
she could still get him in the back of the head.
This must be a mom thing because my mom, she could do the same. I watched one time my
That's a
sister.
mind control.
I couldn't believe it. I thought my sister had lost her mind because we were sitting in her bedroom, my mom's bedroom, and we were, I don't know, I think we were just watching TV or something.
Right.
And my sister was over there brushing her hair because she thought she needed to brush her hair 100 times every night.
Right.
So she was over there brushing her hair. Well, they had all their stuff out, curlers and combs and all this stuff. My mom had rolled her hair while we were watching TV. And my mom asked her what she was doing. And my sister said, "None of your damn business."
Oh.
And I
no,
thought,
no.
I mean, the minute she
That's-
said that, like my face got flushed
Yeah.
and my arms, my shoulders got tense.
Oh,
and
man.
all I saw was her shoe go right past my face
Yeah.
and bang. I mean, knocked her right in the forehead.
Right.
I was like, dang,
Oh,
girl,
man.
do you have a death wish?
Damn.
I think back in the early 80s, there was an incident that happened. I had the security in this store just when my business in protective services was getting started. There was a store that needed some help with security. So I had a couple of operatives working in it. A lot of stuff was going on. They were missing some stuff. And one day I walked in to check on these operatives, and I saw one of them running. I walked in the front door, and I saw one of them running full tilt. And then I saw another one take off running. And they saw this woman, and she was running, and she was large. She was a large woman. She had on flip-flops.
Uh-oh.
And all you heard across the store was ka-flock, 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 ka-flock,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
she was running. And back then, you can't touch a shoplifter now.
Right.
But back then, you tackled their ass.
Right.
Bam! They hit her one high, one low, and a 27-inch TV fell out.
No
between
way.
her legs.
What?
Yes.
Are you
And that's
serious?
not the flat screen TVs. This is back in the 80s when you had the tube that was longer than
Get
it was
outta
wide.
here.
Yeah, 27-inch TV. And I think that's why I hear that. Every time I hear somebody walking with flip-flops, I picture this big old woman going ka-flock, ka-flock, ka-flock.
Oh, my gosh.
Just running in
And
his
this
slippers.
TV fall when they hit her, this
Wow.
TV
Oh
shatters
my
everywhere.
gosh.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy.
And I can't. Every time I hear a flip flop, that vision goes through my head.
Have you ever seen those shoes? Oh, it just makes me cringe just thinking about it. Those shoes that were like really popular back a handful of years ago. They were like they were like rubber bottoms, and they went in between your toes. They were like toe shoes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had friends that used to love those, and I was like, dude,
You're talking about the ones that just stick to the bottom of your feet, basically. Is that what you're talking about?
It was kind of like a sock shoe, right?
Yeah, and like I said, it went in between your toes.
Oh, like a foot mitt.
Kind of.
Mitten
I'm gonna pull.
It was a shoe on the bottom.
I'm gonna pull the picture, and they were nasty, and they were like it was.
Ew.
I didn't like them, and it creeped me out because I didn't like things. I don't like things.
Pet peeve: don't like things in your toes.
I don't like things in my toes.
He's got a foot thing.
Right.
He doesn't like squishy wet socks.
It's not a phobia.
Well, a good thing most aliens will have tentacles.
That's
instead
true.
Of feet, right?
Suckers. He likes the ones with suckers.
No, please. Oh Jesus.
So I'll tell you another one, a pet peeve that I have, and I mean I feel this way probably since childhood, is litter bugs.
Yeah.
Keep your trash to yourself and throw the stuff away. And I don't mean out your window or your, like.
I wish more people had that pet peeve.
Well, you know what? Seriously.
Before we continue, hold on.
Oh yeah, no. I wouldn't like that.
I remember those.
No.
Oh, I don't like them. I didn't.
It
like
just showed me a picture of toast. No, that wouldn't fly.
No, I'm out.
No thanks. But
Sorry.
yeah, no, I don't like litter bugs. I don't, even like at the movie theater, like get your popcorn and get your drink and get your candy trash and throw that stuff away. Like, why does somebody else have to clean up your mess? And there are entitled people that are like, I pay you to.
What about shopping carts? What about people who just roll their shopping carts out in the middle? Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, no.
What we do when nobody's looking is just as important. So why don't you just roll the cart up?
Right.
That kind of side paths into one for myself, because I think it umbrellas a lot. Like a really big pet peeve, if there's one to take away from this, is laziness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, is like a big pet peeve is when someone is just lazy. Because again, I think I've had people in my life around me that have like caused me to like either lose opportunities or to make me late for stuff or whatever because of laziness. And so it's like, like the second someone, and I think it like I said, what do you want to call that? Rabbit trails off from what you're talking about, is like not throwing stuff away as little as like just. No,
it is a form of laziness.
Yeah,
as not throwing stuff away, but it's also like you're.
It's also a form of nasty.
right.
Just nasty,
and just total disregard for people, for the environment, for everything.
It is also time, is like you were saying before. Is like I like to be timely, at least even by a little bit. So for that to like, for someone to be lazy in my life and like around me or adjacent to that, it just makes me like, it's a bad trait. It's like it's.
I'm gonna pull Ian. Hear me out. This is Ian.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Hear me out. Here, I got one. Go through Walmart or somewhere like that. Sir, the self-service is available. No, I don't work here. Thank you.
Right.
I cannot stand that.
Yeah.
I got told that last night. I had alcohol last night, and I got told I can't take you here. You have to go to the self-service or the area. And I was like, all right, but
that's pretty smart. Let's let someone go through self-service who
I'm gonna hit it back at you. Hear me out. I scanned all my stuff, and then the person that was supposed to come like check my ID
had to come do it.
Was on her phone and wasn't even paying attention.
Oh no!
Was just sitting there on the phone.
That's another pet peeve.
So I just scanned all my stuff, and I was like, excuse me, and I was like, hey, and then she didn't even check my ID, just like hit. I was like, I'm not.
I went through McDonald's once to get some breakfast on the way to my secondary job on Sundays.
Right.
And I went to go pay, and she was on her phone. Excuse me, I'll be off in a minute.
Oh, gosh.
Wait, what?
You're already off.
What? Excuse me?
I don't know.
She was on her cell phone.
She was multitasking.
Is that what that was? She was only one task.
Multi-slacking.
Right. Multi-slacking. That's a good one. Yeah. But mine too, like again, this is a pet peeve that my dad does. If you're listening, I'm going to call you out here. Is that he likes to drive around the parking lot to find the best spot, like at like the Superstore or whatever, or at the Walmart or whatever.
Oh God, like for 10 minutes?
Not for 10 minutes, but definitely long enough. I'm like, we could have just taken that spot. We could have walked an extra. Right. We could have gotten our steps in. Like did a little extra exercise and just got inside. The
Hottie Doctor has a really nice truck.
Right.
And she will park away from everybody
else. Right.
Somebody dinged her.
God forbid.
Walmart,
someone.
And Lord Jesus, you'd have thought somebody ran a forklift down the side of her truck, cutting the whole thing out.
Right.
And I understand it. She has a nice truck. She likes nice things.
Of course.
And people don't respect it. So she will park out of the way. I get that. I honestly get that. I really do. But I take it one step further during Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When it was Christmas time, we'd go get 4 or 5 empty bags from, the different stores in the mall, and then walk around like we were looking for our car. You'd have 8 people following you around, honking at you, screaming, hollering.
Man.
That is so much fun. If you get 3 or 4 people doing it, you'll just mess everybody up in that
dude.
parking lot. It's
I-
fun.
If we're talking about
It's fun.
if we're talking about pet peeves that happen in parking lots,
Here we go.
my thing is if I put my car in reverse and those white lights come on, there's only one thing that can mean I'm backing up. And I'm in a Tahoe, so I'm in a fairly big size truck. Sometimes I can't always see around the whole vicinity, so I back up like pretty slowly. I try not to rush
Kinda
out.
inch out a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. But what is a pet peeve of mine that I've noticed recently, and it's kind of developed into something kind of more of a hatred of certain things, is when I'm backing up, and the people behind me see that I'm trying to back up, but will still insist on like plowing through the lane, even though they see I'm backing up. Like, and again, some people will even as they're driving insist on honking at me as if I couldn't see them. But I was like, but you also could have just stopped for a second and let me.
Their life is way more important than yours.
And that's what it feels like. And then I had this happen yesterday.
And then they're looking at you like, hey, jerk.
Yeah, hear me out. I had this. I went to Chick-fil-A. And
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, if you ever want to be a sponsor
please.
of this show, please.
Exactly.
Just help us
Yeah,
out.
we could all use some free Chick-fil-A.
I was with my lovely girlfriend, and we were going out to lunch, and I was backing up, and I had backed out like a pretty good bit. And this truck is driving. He's in a pretty like big like F-250 or something like that, and is driving up and then honks at me. And then I was like, okay, but then as he honks, he proceeds to stop like that little jerk where I could see him do it. So I thought he was letting me out. So I like backed up some more, and then he pulls up and honks again. And I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on? And then so I like was like kind of sort of inching out or whatever, and then he like lays on the horn and is like, and
I'd
then
have took all day to
Dude.
finish getting out there. I'd have moved a half an inch every 20 minutes.
So at this point, as he's passing me up, I can tell we're very close because I can see the reflection of my light.
It had never made it by me.
And dude, and whenever
Never.
Tony would have gone all fried green tomatoes and Tawanda.
he rolls down his window and he says, "Are you blind or something or whatever?" And I was like,
I'd have said, no,
you?
Can you see this? And I'd have flipped him off.
I was like, "Are you though?" I'm like, "You could." I have backup lights that are indicating that I'm trying to back up, and you are insisting on going through. Like, I'm confused here. What's going on?
You remember that movie when the girl steals her parking spot, and so she
it's
takes
a
her
great
car and
scene.
just rams it into her
Oh,
over and
man.
over and over again.
Oh, my gosh.
And then the lady says, "I'm older and I have more
great
insurance." Yeah,
insurance.
I love that.
Great scene.
That's funny. You know,
But just let me say this to Ian. That's why I always back up in a parking spot now.
I see.
I always back
Oh.
up. My Tahoe
Oh, that's
and the Lexus
interesting.
both have, and Hottie Doctor's truck, we all have backup cameras.
Right.
Back up to the parking spot, and you don't have to worry about that anymore.
interesting.
It's
Yeah.
just a fun
Okay.
habit that I've gotten into.
I see.
And you just don't have to worry about it. 'Cause
Yeah.
people are dicks.
Yeah.
And it's like they want you to hit them just so you can sue them.
Right.
So if you just remove that from the equation, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
There you go.
All right.
Just a thought process.
Well, this isn't in the parking lot, but it's another one of those weird specic ones.
Really?
I guess I'm weird, and I don't
yes,
know.
that is true.
Shut
You
up,
are
Stoney.
weird.
But no, the biggest pet peeve that I have when it comes to like just being annoyed is somebody eating cucumbers.
What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Ugh.
cucumbers?
First of all, they're disgusting. They're the
What?
most disgusting thing you could
No, they're not.
eat. Yes, they are. They look and taste like dirt. They're
What?
awful. No, they're terrible. They stink to high heavens. They're the most grossest.
are you talking about?
No, they're disgusting. I would rather go out and eat my tree in my front yard than eat a cucumber. They're so disgusting.
The thing is, like I don't. I'm not saying I agree with him. I don't care for cucumbers.
Ew, they're
But
terrible.
it's mostly because like if I eat a cucumber, a lot of times like I will just have that taste in my mouth all day.
Right.
And a lot of times I don't like that.
And so not only are they disgusting, then to have to hear somebody smack on them like a cow chewing cud
Oh
with
my
that
God.
crunchy. There was a girl when I was getting my master's degree. There was a girl that sat behind me in class,
no.
and I used to text my wife, and I'd be like, "She's doing it again. She's eating those dang cucumbers behind me, and I can't stand the smell."
That's the,
That's
the root cause right there. We just found the root of it all.
Yeah, the evil woman. She completely destroyed my life for 2 semesters, eating her cucumber snacks behind me. And it wasn't just she couldn't eat just a little 4 or 5 of slices of a cucumber. She'd eat the whole dang thing cut up in a Tupperware bowl.
Right.
And I'm like, ugh. So it made the whole class reek, number one. But I can't stand the sound and the smell of cucumbers being eaten.
The sound and the smell. When you're cooking like a big bone-in ribeye on the grill, and you got the butter and you got the garlic and the smoke and the flame and that caramelization and smoking, and your mouth just starts watering and you get so hungry,
Right.
Do vegetarians feel the same way when they're cutting the grass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
They're mowing the lawn. They're going, "Oh man, this smells so good."
Yeah, right.
But that's exactly what cucumbers smell like. It's like a yard being mowed. They're disgusting.
No, you
Stoney.
chop them up nice and you put a little balsamic
you
vinaigrette
don't.
on it, some salt
Yeah,
and
you have to
pepper,
put something
some
on it
feta
'cause it
cheese,
stinks.
and it's just, oh my God, I
Terrible.
can eat that every day.
But you
Every
know
day.
what? It's
I
funny
can eat that
because
every
our
day.
oldest daughter, I understand like a sensitivity to smacking, or like I was saying,
yes.
like sounds
chewing
like
with your mouth open. I get that.
all of that, very distracting. But man, she was so sensitive. I mean, my cucumber thing seems like nothing. She cannot stand you chewing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Regular
wow.
chewing. And I'm like, she's looking at us at the breakfast table. I hate it. Well,
Is that kind of like people who can't stand the word moist?
yeah.
Probably
That is
so.
somebody's
You know what I'm
pet
saying?
peeve.
It
A
is.
lot of
No, it
people-
is. A lot of people can't
Yes.
stand the word moist.
Yes, moist.
Why?
Interesting.
Moist. Can I
I mean-
offend somebody today?
There we
Moist, 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 moist.
Moist.
Jeez.
So you can tell who the older generations are, right?
Right. We just lost 3 followers right there. I'm gonna get it.
We only had 4. So
Come on,
we gotta
Darn it,
start
we're gonna
over.
have to rebuild. But anyway, yeah, no,
The anti-cucumber coalition.
I would sit there and I'll be president of that.
Right.
I'll nominate myself. But no, she used to sit at the dinner table and give us these, the teenagers' little, disapproving, God, you're so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
She used to like look at us, and all we were doing was like eating our breakfast.
Right.
And so Rachel would get all smiley and laughy about it and everything, and I'd be like, what is wrong with her? Like what's she all looking at us like that for? She was like, we're chewing. And I went, chewing?
Yeah.
And she went, yeah, chewing. And I'm like, so her problem with us is that we're chewing our food? And she's like, mm-hmm.
If you're chewing normally, it's almost like the equivalent of having a pet peeve of someone breathing.
Right.
It's like
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
When you get married eventually, and you'll find out that that's one of the things women hate about men.
It's just how they're breathing.
Yeah,
Oh,
when you
wow.
breathe.
Yikes.
I'm
like
telling
number
you,
7.
that's a nose hair problem. I'm just saying. Start there.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, no, I no. She would just. I mean, I'd get the dirtiest looks, and I how do you combat that? Like, I'm sorry,
can't.
I am going to eat.
You know
Yes.
how I would combat that? Because if I was chewing normally and it drove somebody crazy, that's a little far out there.
Yeah.
I would start with my mouth open
no.
And
just to irritate.
And that's what my wife would do to her, and it would be. I mean, it would be on. She would actually get up and leave the table, which I was fine with because at that point I'm
Right,
like,
yeah.
I am going to eat. So,
Of course.
bye, sweetie.
Right, exactly.
Go to school
Love
now.
you, bye. Oh man. What is it? Is it called what is it? Is it Pavlovian response? Whenever like
Pavlov's response.
Pavlov's or
Yeah,
whatever.
when they would with the dog and the feeding. And,
yeah. It's like they ring a bell and it makes the dog's mouth
Right.
water. It's
Yeah.
like I have that with a pet peeve, and it's
Okay.
very specific, kind of strange as well.
Finally, I'm not the only one.
you're
Thank
right.
God, I feel
It's,
like I'm a brother now.
It's right. It's So let me just set up the story. My dad and I, we were building a house, like from the ground up, basically. So it took a good like 4 or 5 years of our life because of like money and time and assistance that we have from other people and stuff like that. And it was for a business that my mom was running. So we were building this up and we're trying to do it ourselves because, again, we're like, it's going to be cheaper that way. But in the long run, it ended up taking forever, obviously, and a lot of other stuff. I used to hate working on the house because I was like, at the time, like between 14 and like 14 and 19 or whatever. It's kind of like the range of time that it was. So I was in my teenage years. And I used to be like playing video games with friends, or I would have like plans to do something that night or whatever. And my dad always used to have like ice in a cup with a drink. So it just, like any other person, like sweet tea, for instance, with ice in it. Anytime he would come to me and talk to me about working on this house, he would always have this drink in his hand. And it would always have like the ice kind of clacking around or whatever. And I used to never really like drinking like with ice in a cup anyways, because I don't like it.
So whenever you heard that ice, you thought you were going to work on the house.
I knew I was going to be like out in the heat. I was going to be manual labor. And so I just associated anytime I hear like ice, it's specific like a plastic cup or whatever, but sometimes even like a glass cup or whatever. If someone's like drinking like with no straw, just kind of like sipping, and there's like ice clacking around, and I'm like, it triggers this feeling inside of me that's like,
that is interesting.
Right. That I just.
Now, see, I pick on you about the cucumbers.
My cucumber stuff feels less crazy. Thank you.
Right,
I appreciate that. Cheers.
Cheers.
You say that, and I get it. I disagree with you on specifically the cucumber because I love cucumber.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine is Brussels sprouts.
Really?
If you put a Brussels sprout in front of me, I have an involuntary regurgitation effect.
No,
I will
really?
throw up.
Are you serious?
Right there.
Oh man.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Right there. Probably on you for putting it in front of me.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yes.
my.
Yep. Cannot stand Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
No. Been like that for years.
That's funny. My wife can't. You know what I do to drive her crazy?
Wake up.
She cannot. Shut up. She cannot stand for me to like make the gag or throwing up sound.
Oh no.
So if I ever want to make her gag, I can do it just by walking in and going.
No.
Like that.
There's a lot of people like that.
And she will absolutely immediately start gagging, and I can take it all the way to throw up. Like if I want to, I can instantly make her throw up by just going.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. So her pet peeve would, if she were here, would definitely be the gag sound because she cannot take it, and the kids have learned it too. And so when she lays it on too thick, or if you want to make her disappear, just start going.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yes.
Wow.
So true.
That's so strange.
It is.
But I understand though. I totally understand it. That is not fun at all. Wow.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, and I guess this is, especially in our current like climate of COVID and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I kind of value my personal space too. Like
Right,
I need some space between me and others, and this I'm kind of like this same way with my food. I will invite you in to my space if that's where I want you, but for you to just like get in my face and start talking to me real close or something like that, I'm like, yeah, not so much.
Do you guys happen to know?
Yes.
Well, thank you.
He does.
I was going to say, do you happen to know anybody else in your life from their perspective? Like, do you know of any pet peeves that you do to them, like inadvertently? Like, I'm obviously significant others.
Apparently, if I have a stray hair, that drives Hottie
right,
Doctor
right,
crazy.
Right. I was gonna say, I know with my brothers, we used to hate, like, a pet peeve of all of us was like talking over each other. If any of us were trying to talk, if we were
That's
like
my little brother.
is like
It
talking
drives
up.
him if you interrupt
Right,
him
yes.
or talk over him.
It must be
he
a little brother
goes
thing.
nuts.
Same thing.
Oh my God! How would you ever get anything done on this show if that were the case?
We have a podcast together, a different podcast, and
That's
that was in the
funny.
first few episodes. It was kind of hard because we were constantly trying to talk over each other sometimes, and it was
Yeah.
like, we got to figure this out. So
Yeah. I could see that. No, I'm trying to think about the things that I would inflict upon somebody else. If I did them, it would probably be out of intentionality, like I was saying, the gag thing. Like trying to do something like that.
Well, that's like me. If I was in that spot with that truck behind me,
Right.
that happened backing in. Everybody in my neighborhood knows I whip up and I back in.
Yep.
And one day there was a truck, and he thought he was going to pass me. I kept coming. If you hit me,
Right.
I've had my blinker on, letting you know
Right.
I'm going into that driveway.
Yep.
Even though I pull up a little bit and back, he laid on his horn. Ask me how long it took me to drive back up in the driveway.
Oh, forever.
About 42 minutes.
42 minutes?
Oh, I took my time. He was screaming, hollering, calling me
I
every name
cannot
in the book.
imagine.
Huh?
Wow.
I can't imagine that. That is crazy.
Wow.
You know what? If you're that impatient
Right.
that you need to be ugly to somebody,
Yes.
I'm gonna make you ugly.
You're so mean.
Yes.
You're so mean. You
Yes.
must eat cucumbers.
Yes.
It's true. He does.
Yeah,
He eats
I do.
cucumbers.
You
I
must
like
like them.
cucumbers.
It makes everybody mean.
You would have hated my ex-girlfriend. She used to say the same thing. She used to get those like huge ones from the store
Yeah.
and would just sit there and eat on them.
It's like my
she had
nightmare.
she had a pet rabbit and would just like share them with the rabbit.
I
And
know
was
what I'm
like,
bringing for a
please.
snack.
It's
for
like
our next
kryptonite.
podcast.
Honestly, cucumbers are my kryptonite.
Really?
I am. Yeah, I can't even
So
stand
if
to
I'm
be around
bringing
them.
for a snack during the next
I will leave.
podcast, you'll leave?
That's fine.
Really?
I will walk out of this room and you can have your cucumbers and
Wow.
you will not. You can have a different podcast. Enjoy it.
Man.
Wow.
It'll be retrospect without the
Ew.
Gen Xers.
Wow.
Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
hey,
like it.
Harshness.
at least he's honest. You know.
But you said I was mean.
Just being real. Like if you ever want to break up, that's the way to do it with me real fast.
Right,
Just
right.
Whip out a
proclaim your.
cucumber.
You know, my wife, she knows, like, if you want to eat those, she will plan to eat them while I'm gone. Like if I go out a business trip or
Wow.
something, she'll go do that.
Yeah.
She'll do it then, but she does not.
that's the
bring
first
it.
thing.
I love cucumbers.
He's going out of town and she's like, yeah, it's time to buy up all the cucumbers. Let's go.
And my son following my footsteps. He doesn't like them either.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Nope. Doesn't like them. Man. My daughter tries to like them, but she doesn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
She
that
tries to be like, oh, no big deal. But then I'm like, you want some? No.
No, thank you. I was like, I see how it is. Interesting.
Yeah, totally interesting. But I think what I would like to do is make Ian a pair of squishy, wet, moist cucumber shoes
Oh wow,
with
Jeez.
toe
that's nasty.
with toe
You want
sleeves.
to talk about me leaving the old show? Like, I'm not
Be
doing
the only one sitting here.
that. Right.
Maybe I'll make him 50 pair and put
Retrospect.
them all over the counter.
Please no. Oh my gosh. No. Just not on the counter, please. Yeah, that's one thing I think I like to clean as I go. So a lot of times if we're like cooking dinner or we're baking something and like
Yes.
Mallory and I are together, I will always like rinse stuff out or even give it a quick wash and like put it away, like measuring cups,
Dude,
for instance, or something
You
like
and I
that.
would have made the perfect roommate.
See?
I mean,
Right.
we would have been organized,
Yeah.
no cucumbers.
But the thing is, like Mallory will always just like throw everything in the sink a lot of times, or like as she's going, and we'll just like open up packages, have them on the counter, and I think sometimes it works in the adverse effect. My pet peeve is just leaving everything around, and her pet peeve is that I like go behind and clean everything up because she's
That's
like, I wasn't
Okay,
done
so
with.
what's wrong? That works. She leaves it.
Yeah,
You clean it up. Who
But,
gives a
but the
shit,
thing is that
you know?
she's like, I'm not done with that yet. Why did you clean it and put it up? And I was like, because it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it away. And sometimes,
My wife
these little
will-
minor arguments will happen where she's like, I wasn't done with that yet. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just take it back out then.
Similarly, my wife will use every freaking pot or
Yes.
pan in the kitchen. Every one of them.
All
of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. Like,
Right.
did you really have to take out another spoon to taste that?
Do you
Right,
clean
right.
And put it in the sink
Do
and
you,
then get
do you
another
clean
spoon?
those pots?
Huh?
Do you clean them?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But let me
Because if you don't clean them, you ain't got
Every
shit to
once
say.
in a while.
right.
It depends on what's on them.
Yeah, yeah.
If it's
See?
cucumbers,
What are
no.
we
But yeah, where were you when I was going to college? Like,
right.
we should have
I
been
know.
there
I mean, you're
together,
right, you're right.
with the same like hygiene thing.
You're
Like,
right.
I would have been totally happy.
That was the thing. Is
And
I
I'd
had,
eat cucumbers just to drive you batshit crazy.
Oh, of
You know
course.
what?
No, you would have been the one who would have like hit him in his sock drawer or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably would have like a nice cut up plate of like fresh cucumbers in his underwear drawer.
I would have
or
woke
something.
up and he would have been laughing.
Oh
And I'd be
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, right.
Every time you woke up.
Oh man, my best friend and I moved into some apartments that are not too far away from here, and it was kind of, I was nervous about it because again, you have this friend that's like your best friend of like upwards of 8 to 10 years, and again you work together. Like I've worked with them before, so it's like we were friends, and like at a local church we went to, we worked together. So again, like we know a good bit about each other and how we act. But we never lived together, and he was my first roommate moving out of my parents' house. And you have that moment of like, are we gonna get along? Is it gonna be okay? Because I know this guy, but I never lived with him before.
Right.
That's like the next level of either friendship or your next nemesis
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
And it was a similar situation where we were very much like on the same wavelength as far as like keeping certain things clean. Yeah. Our big thing is that our rooms can look whatever they are, like they can look like a heap of trash. But as long as the public spaces,
common areas,
as long as the common areas are all clean and tidy, that's all that matters. And that's what we did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
That's how it should be.
Right.
You know
but then another friend of ours came into the fold, and he was a bit of a drunk, and oh man, there was many nights where it was not good. Where I was like, I told my friend. It
seems like that always happens in roommate situations, though. There's always one that just is the real source.
And it was never the same. Even after like we moved out of that place, when we moved in somewhere else, we like moved in with another group of guys, and it just was never quite the same way because it was always just a little off. Mm-hmm. Everything was either broken or messed up, or.
And if you're out there listening and you don't know, you're in that situation, but you don't know which one it is, it's you. It's you. If you're not aware of who this is in your relationships, you're the one, and so you're really, really irritating
Have
somebody.
A nice introspective look. Yeah.
What this show is revealing, though, to me is that I have a real problem with like personal and like this vulnerable spaces like sleep and things like that. Let me tell you, another thing that's my pet peeve is my wife jacking the boxes. Have you ever seen anybody do that in their sleep where they just pop up?
Wait, what?
Like no matter what I do, like I could get up to go to the bathroom and my wife sits straight up in the bed and then she flops back down.
Really?
Yeah, she jacking the boxes. So it's like pop there. No. And I'm like, it's crazy. And then it doesn't help that it's the middle of the night. Her mascara's all screeching.
Right.
What I mean?
My yours or hers?
I don't wear mascara.
No, not to sleep anyway.
Not to sleep for sure. Yeah.
Like Mallory will kind of like she doesn't talk in her sleep, but sometimes she like will wake up kind of inadvertently and start a conversation, like start like a sentence of some kind.
Yeah.
But it's not like my brother kind of used to sleep talk every now and then. He used to kind of like mumble a little bit and that was it.
Yeah.
Sometimes like there's been a couple times where like she has like I'll be like editing something for work.
Yeah.
And like she'll like sit up in the bed and be like, and we'll say a sentence.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's kind of incomprehensible. I'm like, I don't really understand what's going on here. Yeah. But then she's like, huh? Like looking for a response. I'm like,
answer me.
Yeah. And I'm like, yes, of course. And she's like, all right. And then goes back to sleep. And I'm like,
I used to have a friend.
What?
He was a shift supervisor. He did shift work.
Right.
They did 12-hour shifts. And he would come into my office and he'd prop his feet up. And he'd be in the middle of a sentence and then fall asleep in the middle of the sentence.
What is that? Is it narcolepsy?
20 minutes
you must
later,
have.
No,
he must have
he
been
was just tired. He was tired.
Okay.
He was riveted by what Stoney was saying.
And he would come in. He was saying it in the middle of a sentence, and he would fall asleep 15, 20 minutes later and wake up and complete the sentence.
Really?
What?
Yes. No joke.
Like a time lapse thing?
Yes.
Where
He would be in, like I said, he's in the middle of a sentence. Stop.
No way.
Fall asleep. Wake up. And finish the sentence.
That must feel like you stopped time.
It did.
Oh, wow.
The first couple times he did
like
it,
you press pause and then play all of a sudden.
Yes,
and no one's there anymore.
Weird. It was weird. First couple times he did it, it was kind of crazy.
That is weird. Wow. Is it that narcolepsy?
And you know him.
That's what I said, but he said it's not.
You know him.
Oh, do? Oh, is it Will Star?
No.
Interesting.
Yep.
Fun.
A friend at work.
Yep. No, what about friend?
Oh, okay.
I know him at work.
Gotcha.
He's at work.
Interesting.
Yes.
Cool. Wow. Yeah. No, that's narcolepsy, right?
No, that's just falling asleep. He didn't just fall asleep. Yeah. He would be narcolepsy is you could be walking down the hall and just fall asleep.
And just collapse.
Yes. Yeah. This was he would come. He'd prop his legs up. He'd get comfy, and we'd be talking bullshitting with something.
Yeah.
And he'd be out right in the middle.
For how long?
It could be 15, 20 minutes.
Get out of here. Yes. And then he wakes up where he left off?
And finishes the sentence.
Weird.
Yes.
That is weird.
It's like his brain was just put on pause for a hot minute.
My God, that is a perfect candidate for like painting his nails and writing stuff on his forehead, and like you can mess with a guy like that.
Man. Like I just want to know what happens in his mind. Is the gap like smaller than it feels like it is? Like it's one thing if you doze off for like 30 seconds, you're like, oh sorry, yeah, as I was saying, but does it feel like that to him? Where he's like, oh I'm sorry, I just dozed off for like
He'd walk up to my desk and I'd be getting like the Sharpies out, the nail polish from Stoney's desk.
Maybe that's why he doesn't like it when people laugh when he wakes up. Maybe that's what his sisters did to him.
Wow.
You know what? You might be right.
Wow.
I never thought about that.
Maybe that's what it is.
It could be that way.
Who would have thought we would have had?
You woke up looking like a woman.
No, I'm pretty sure I always wake up as a guy.
Not if they put makeup on you.
Well, you know what? I never thought about whether they did
You
that.
need to ask him.
But I will tell you, I did see that happen to a dude one time, and it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good. I was really glad that I didn't hang around.
Mm-hmm.
But they went skydiving the next morning, and they took this dude and got him drunk. And so his skydiving video is him with a skydiving suit and helmet on. And you can see the faint asshole written across his forehead. I'm not kidding you. Like, they totally tore this kid up. I mean, that poor guy, they wrote all over him. And you could tell that they put a big black circle around his mouth.
Oh, my gosh. How do you not? Oh, man.
I mean, they were awful to that dude. I felt terrible watching that video of him skydiving, but laughed. I mean,
I guess so.
I laughed so hard.
That's funny.
It was terrible.
Wow.
Mean people, I tell you.
There's mean people in this world.
There are. There are.
I can't believe it. I remember doing some dumb stuff when I was young, but never quite like some of the stuff the kids are doing nowadays.
No.
There's a whole new level of crazy what I feel like some kids are doing now. I'm like, you know.
You know who started it was Johnny Knoxville.
Oh man!
You know, ever since Jackass came out,
that was in my time as well.
I know.
I remember watching that, but like
you guys invented this.
I'm not even talking about that. Like that was the stuff I kind of did. I'm just talking about like, I don't know.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother podcast we
Right.
could have on that one. So
Like the stupid stuff.
oh man,
this is stuff kids are doing.
kids
nowadays.
today, man. Let me tell you,
These kids now.
Oh, we did stupid stuff too.
we did stupid
Yeah.
stuff. We did. We all did.
Yeah.
But today, it's just way beyond that.
Well, we'll have another show about it. But I tell you what, pet peeves are interesting, and I think they're kind of one of the ways that we as people kind of are able to express ourselves. You know,
Right.
like
It makes us unique.
It does.
It's one
It
of the things that makes
yeah,
us very
that's what I'm
unique.
trying to say. Unique. Yeah. Uniqueness. And I think that it's fascinating because there are people that get really tripped up on some weird stuff.
Very specific
You know,
stuff,
like
yeah.
right. So yeah, I think that's very interesting. And you just never know what people's hangups are going to be, and if you're the one, you know, stirring that up or causing that within somebody. So
Right.
I agree,
Really
100%.
cool. Yep.
That's so crazy. Well, anyways, if you're looking to find us, you can type in Retrospect Pod on most of the social media platforms, and you should be able to find us. We also have a link tree /Retrospect Pod, and you can find all of our links there. If you listen on a platform that allows you to rate us, give us a 5-star review. That'd be really appreciative.
That would be awesome.
Tell a friend about us. I hope we offended at least one person out there today.
I'm
pretty
know.
sure
We
offended-
are an equal opportunity offender.
We
Yes.
absolutely are.
I know for a fact that if there's anybody that likes cucumbers and hates the word moist, we definitely offend.
And anybody that
someone.
likes Birkenstocks.
right.
Or foot socks.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. But anyways, until next time, I thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
See ya.
And just remember, you're unique, just like everybody else.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice ending, Stoney. Way to land the plane.